When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Okay, episode 4 of Discovering Your Purpose in Life. It's one of the hardest things that anyone can do, discovering your purpose in life. And you would think it's the easiest because we're living that life. We know ourselves better than anyone, or we should do. But it's a very different situation in real life. Well, we've been breaking it down in episode 1. We gave you some exercises for self-reflection, introspection, stopping for a moment and actually looking at your life and deciding on what was important to you, what was the things that you love more than anything. I've done that many times, and I do it constantly, and I always come back now to the most important thing for me is time. Being able to control my time, not being on anybody else's calendar. Now, that might seem a simple thing, but that means that I can travel when I want. I can stop and make income streams when I want. Everything is under my control. So you could say it's time, you could say it's control, but that certainly is my overriding theme that runs through every decision that I have. Now, I wouldn't have been able to get to that unless I'd actually stopped and really asked the question of what do I love doing most in life? And what I love doing most in life is being spontaneous and living a life under my own terms. Now, the second episode was about embracing curiosity and experimenting, trying different things, saying yes to people, going out for evening classes where you might normally say, no, I won't do that tonight. Just trying things until you find something that you really loved and sort of lights you up inside. It's a big part of defining your purpose is getting out of the rut and the routine that so many of us find ourselves in on a daily basis. And then the next step, we talked about the art of seeking feedback, actually speaking to people that know you and asking the difficult questions. What am I good at? What are the things that you really think that I fly at without effort? And it's a difficult thing because we don't really like to ask these kind of questions because then people will see us wanting to change our lives, and more often than not people like us to be in exactly the same position as them. Now, in episode 4, we're going to be talking about setting meaningful goals and creating a roadmap to your purpose, because by this point you should have got a good idea of where you're heading in life. You should have a good idea of your talents, and you should have a good idea of what lights you up. Now, setting meaningful goals is an essential step in discovering and then living your purpose, living a purposeful life. And by aligning our goals with our values and passions, we can infuse our daily activities with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. You get up every day knowing what you're doing because you're heading towards something. And we're going to explore the importance of goal setting and provide practical strategies for breaking down those big goals, and then guide you in creating a clear roadmap, offering tips for effective prioritization and time management. So let's start on the journey of setting goals that help us actually take action and lead us to our purpose. Now, step 1 is aligning goals with values and passions. As we said, setting goals that resonate with our values and passions is crucial for finding purpose in our lives. We've got to start by reflecting on your core values, the principles and the beliefs that guide your decisions and your actions, and consider what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. It's all right to be happy in life. By aligning your goals with these foundational elements, you can create a powerful energy that fuels your motivation and commitment. Who doesn't love getting up each morning knowing that they're going to be happy and they're working towards something that is going to be life-changing, and the life-changing for so many other people? So take time to reflect on your core values And write down your core values and explore how they can be reflected in your goals. What are the things that are most important to you? As I said earlier, I realised that control and keeping control of my time is number one. Nothing comes close to it, and everything leads from that. Then try to identify your passions. We should have that already in the first 3 episodes. And look back at those list of activities or causes that ignite your passion and bring you joy when you're doing it. And then seek inspiration. You should be getting that from Join Up Dots anyway, but look for role models or mentors who embody those values and passions similar to you, and then learn from their journeys and their achievements. Success leaves clues, and by looking at what other people have done, more often than not you can go, well, if they did it, I can do it. Nothing is out of your reach. It's just making a decision and moving towards it. Then the second step is then break down those big goals. Ambitious goals can often feel overwhelming and hindering progress and causing sort of discouragement. Breaking down big goals into smaller, or we like to say dots, actionable steps is a powerful strategy to make progress and maintain that momentum. And it allows you to create a clear roadmap that leads you closer to your purpose one step at a time. Everything I do through Join Up Dots, everything I do through my life, I look at it and I think, how can I take that action, that goal, and break it down into a series of small dots that I can just work at and tick off one by one. So define your big goal. Start by clearly articulating, I suppose, your overarching goal or vision. Think about the biggest thing that you possibly could do in your life. I want to help 1 million people. I could go 1 billion people. It makes no difference. To be able to change direction, live their own life, earn their own income, and just be happy. And then identify the milestones. Take that big dream, whatever your big dream is, and break down your big goal into smaller milestones that serve as checkpoints along your journey. And I think it's a good thing to have as many as possible, the smaller things. If you start building a business, first of all, get a website and then break that down into little steps, and then get an email account. And just, it might seem almost too simple, but by having every single action just broken down, you go tick, 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 tick. And it's just a list. It's somebody showing you the next step. And then set actionable steps. Determine specific actions you need to take to reach each milestone. It might be that you need to get up an hour earlier each day. It might be that you need to work at lunchtime in your job. Whatever you need to do, look at it and say, what do I need to do to make that next step, that next dot, achievable? And then prioritize. Arrange the steps in a logical order, considering dependencies and other things. So if you realize that actually you're really busy in the evening, then look at it and think, okay, I'm going to do it first thing in the morning, or I can make time on Sunday mornings when nobody else is around. Now, remember, celebrating each milestone, which I'm terrible at, is a great way to reinforce your progress, and it motivates you to keep moving forward. I think everybody, if you could get a list right in front of you of the steps that you need to take and just mark them off each time, will find that rewarding, because you can see progress on a daily basis. And a lot of times people struggle because they do not define these steps. They just have it floating in their head, and it's such a big goal they feel like they're not making progress. Making progress is really easy to do. You just have to jot everything down, get your big goal, move it into a smaller goals, and then look at all the steps to make those smaller goals come true. Okay, now the reason why we do this is, once again, a clear roadmap acts as your guide, and it helps you navigate challenges, it helps you make informed decisions, and it also helps you adapt when necessary. Okay, so how do we create our roadmap? Well, we've already said set short-term and long-term goals. Look at the biggest goal possible and then start breaking it down into smaller dots. But then create a visual representation of your roadmap. You can use a mind map. You can use timelines. You can use goal tracking apps. You can keep anything to keep it on track, and then break it down further break down those milestones and steps into specific tasks so that you can regularly review and adjust. Continuously review your roadmap, reassess your goals, and then adapt to new opportunities. I promise you, your first steps into entrepreneurship or creating your own life will never be where you end up. My life is so different from what I was planning to do, and it's so much better as well, just because I allowed things to naturally occur and move forward. Okay, so that is step 4. Take your dreams, take your aspirations, take your passions, your values that you have defined in episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then start jotting them down into smaller goals that you can achieve. And the smaller goals lead into mid-sized goals, and the mid-sized goals into targets, and then targets into whatever you're aiming for. And you will be on your road to finding a life of purpose. Being happy every day, jumping out of bed, excited, and it's all there ready for you. We're going to finish this course off in episode 5, but you've got enough now to create your dream life.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life. It's the only life you've got. We'll be back again real soon. Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots, Join Up Dots. Join up Dots.